Hello, dear TGT and PGT candidates. Welcome back to my Grammar for Success channel. I'm Koresh Babu, a retired lecturer in English from Hyderabad. In this video, I'm going to explain about the most important grammar rules part 1. I therefore request all of you to pay a very good attention to this video till the end without skipping it in the middle. I also request all of you to consider subscribing to my channel and also sharing this video with all your friends who are also going to take the PGT and TGT examination very shortly. Thank you so much. Now let's get into the video. So in this video, I am going to explain all about the most important grammar rules. They might be of great help and use to you in your forthcoming examination, and therefore I request all of you to pay a very good attention to this video while I am teaching you all these things. Okay, and first of all, let us look at the rule 1. What is the rule 1? The nouns police, people, scissors, spectacles, trousers, shoes, savings, assets, thanks, riches, arms, etc. So there are so many words like this. What kind of words are they? Means they are always plural. Okay, and these words are always plural. Always plural means they are by birth plural. Okay, and therefore what happens? They follow a plural verb after them. That is very important. Since they are all plural nouns, they take a plural verb after them. Okay, here you pay attention. Police is there. Police means not a single policeman, but many policemen. That is the meaning of this. People means, many people. Okay, and scissors means, and in that you find two parts, and therefore in the Telugu language it is a singular word, but in the English language it is a plural word since it has got two parts in it. Similarly, spectacles are there. Okay, in the spectacles also there are two parts. This right part, left part. So that's why it is taken under a plural word. And trousers, and you find two parts in that, and that's why it is taken as a plural word. Shoes, plural. Savings, very well. Assets, thanks, you never say thank, you always say thanks. And riches and alms. So alms means charity, dana dharmalu, something like that. Riches means sampada. So all these words, there are so many words actually, but I have given you only some very important words, and these are all by birth plural, and therefore they always follow a plural verb after them. And in the examination what happens, he will give you a sentence like this: the police has arrested. Here you see, police is a plural word, but after this singular helping verb is used. I have just now told you one very important rule. In the English language there is a standard rule. What is that? Beside the plural nouns there must be used only a plural verb. Beside the singular nouns there must be used only a singular verb. So since they are all plural nouns, plural words, they take only a plural verb, but here a singular verb is used, and therefore this sentence is wrong. The police has arrested the thief. So all these things are very useful for your spotting of errors question and all that. Wrong part is given in the red color and the right part is given in the blue color. So the right part is the police have arrested a thief. That must be your right answer. Okay, like that I have given so many examples, and since many examples are given here, I'll be just reading out the things, and for each and everything I don't give you the explanation. Here you see spectacles. Spectacles is a plural word, therefore a plural verb must be there, but here in the examination he will give you a singular helping verb, and therefore you must say it is a wrong sentence. You have to say spectacles are lost. My spectacles are lost. Don't say my spectacles is lost. Okay, and similarly his trousers was torn. So trousers is a plural word. How can you use a singular verb after it? And therefore this is a wrong sentence. And therefore you, to correct it, what should you do? His trousers were. The plural of was is were. The plural of is are. The plural of has is have. Something like that. Okay, and here you pay attention. Her shoes has been made of rubber. Her shoes has been. So shoes a plural word, and therefore there must be used a plural verb after it, but here only a singular verb is used. So therefore it is a wrong sentence. And now how to correct it? Her shoes have been made of rubber. So if you know this rule, if at all they give a wrong sentence in the examination, you can easily identify that wrong sentence, and you also know the right sentence, because all these words are plural. They take a plural verb. This rule is in your mind, and therefore you can easily correct that, and at least you can say that there is, in that part of the sentence, there is a mistake. At least you can identify the part of the sentence in which there is a mistake. Okay, right. And now you move on to other questions. And the rule 2 is here. What is this rule 2? Some nouns are there. So work in general sense. Work means homework or housework in general sense. So that means in a wider sense you take this word work. Business, okay, and advice, news, furniture, scenery, all these words you know very well. Information, bread, luggage, alphabet, etc. are all uncountables. So they are all uncountables. You cannot count them. For example, work is there. Homework, you don't say homeworks. I have 2 works at home. I have 3 works at home. You don't say that. Whatever may be the number of pieces of work you have at home, you simply say, I have got some work at home. Agricultural work is there. Feeding the cattle and watering the crops, and there will be so many pieces of work, and all these pieces of work are taken under agricultural work, but nobody will say agricultural works. Does anyone say works? No. I have homework, I have work at home, you say simply. So therefore that has no plural form at all. Business, businesses, you don't say that. But nowadays people are saying in the modern English, whether you do 1 business or 2 businesses or 3 businesses, you have to say I am doing business. That is there. And here advice, whether it is 1 or 2 or 3, only advice. News, whether it is 1 piece of news, 2 pieces of news, 3 pieces of news, you have to say news. Furniture, scenery, whether there is 1 scenery or 2 scenery, whatever it is, no, you have to say scenery. Information, 1 information, 2 pieces of information, whatever it is, bread, so luggage, alphabet. So in this way, these are all uncountables. Uncountable means you cannot count them. For example, this pen is there. 1 pen, 2 pens, 3 pens, 4 pens. You can count it because it's a countable noun. But here, they are not countable nouns. They are uncountable nouns, and are therefore, they are not used with a or an. Since they are all uncountable nouns, they are not used with a or an and have no plural forms. These 2 points you learn from this wonderful rule. All these uncountable nouns are not used with a or an before them, 1 point, and they don't have plural forms. So first of all, I will give you some examples for this. Okay, and here you pay attention. 1 note is also there, I think. Use some or a piece of instead of a or an. Okay, before them you cannot use a or an. But if you want to use a or an, instead of them, you had better use some or a piece of. That is there. Okay, and here you pay attention. I have a work to do. You don't say I have a work, because work is an uncountable noun. Therefore, you cannot say I have a work. Then what should you say to correct it? You have to say I have some work. From these rules, you can improve your knowledge of English also. You say I have some work at home. Or intikada panundra bhai, I have some work. You don't say I have a work. Never say. నీకు ఇంగ్లీష్ తెలియకుండా కూడా నువ్వు ఏ వర్క్ అని మాత్రం అనవు. ఐ హ్యావ్ సమ్ వర్క్ అని అంటావు అంతే. సో హియర్ always you use I have some work to do, right? And you can also say a piece of work also, you can say, right? She gave me an advice. Don't say an advice because it's an uncountable now. How can you say an advice? An advice means oka salaha. In Telugu that may be correct, but in English it's not so. And here you have to say she gave me a piece of advice or some advice. Either this one or this one you have to use before that. And here is a good news for you. Most of the people say here is a good news, a good news. Don't say a good news, because news is what? An uncountable noun, and therefore you don't use a or an before that. And what should you do? Instead of this, you had better use some or a piece of. Therefore you have to say here is some good news for you. Dear friends, here is some good news. That's right. Here is a piece of good news. But you don't say here is a good news. Never say that, please. So if you can learn all these things, at least your knowledge of English will improve tremendously. Right. And now you move on to other examples. A few more examples are given here, because the more the examples you take, the more you can understand that topic very well. Okay. And that's why he gave the beggar a bread. Don't say a bread. Bread is an uncountable now. ఎప్పుడు వచ్చింది ఈ బ్రెడ్? ఇప్పుడు వచ్చిందట కానీ ఒక బ్రెడ్ అంటాడు ఎప్పుడైనా? బ్రెడ్ అంటాడు. అక్కడ 10 ఉన్నా 20 ఉన్నా బ్రెడ్డే అంటాడు తప్ప he will never say a bread. Okay, so he gave the beggar some bread or a slice of bread. And rule number 3 is there. What is that rule number 3? And these nouns means these uncountable nouns do not have plural forms. They do not have plural forms. Okay, here you look at one example. He sold all his old furnitures. Furniture is an uncountable noun. How can you say furnitures? Therefore, it is a mistake. And how to correct it? He sold all his old furniture. Furniture itself is enough. Don't say furnitures. Okay, right. And next, the police have received no informations about you. Don't say informations. Whether there is one piece of information or 2 pieces of information, 5 pieces of information, you have to say only information, but not informations. Okay, and therefore the police have received no information about him. This is how you have to correct it. She kept all her luggages. Luggage is an uncountable noun. You cannot say luggages. Whether there is 1 piece of luggage, 2 pieces of luggage, 3 pieces of luggage, you have to simply say luggage, but never say luggages. Therefore, she kept all her luggage. This is wrong. And what is the right one here? She kept all her luggage in the cloakroom. Cloakroom means the room in which you keep all your luggage. And now you go to other examples. Rule 4. Names of diseases. Okay, what are the names of diseases? Mumps, measles, rickets, shingles. Okay, 4 examples are given for that. Names of sciences or branches of knowledge. For example, news, it's a branch of knowledge. Okay, mathematics, name of science. Okay, politics, branch of knowledge. Physics, economics, ethics. So these are all names of sciences or branches of knowledge. Some examples are given. There are so many words like that, but I have given you only a few of them. And names of games: billiards, skittles, darts, innings, etc. So here billiards means you know very well. Billiards అలా పెట్టి బాల్స్ కొడుతుంటారు. అండ్ స్కిటిల్స్ అంటే సో దే త్రో ఏ బాల్ and there will be all some things will be there. So the ball will be there. It will go and hit that. All the balls will fall down. So that's some kind of skittles. And darts means you know some kind of arrows will be there. At a distance there will be a big board there. So you have to throw the small arrows into the middle of that board and all that. So that is called some darts. Okay. Innings means you know first innings, second innings, which is all about cricket, and you know very well. So in this way, these are all the nouns you know that are ending in yes. You see that? Mums, yes, yes, yes. Singles, physics, politics, billiards. So all these nouns are ending strangely in yes. That is the plural form. Yes is the plural form, but they are all ending in yes. Therefore, most of the people think that they are all plural words, and therefore they make use of a plural verb after them. That is the mistake that people make. Okay, and here you pay attention. The news are thinking that this is a plural word. This man has used the plural verb after that. These are the mistakes generally we make because we are the non-native speakers of English. Non-native speakers of English, and therefore we are very likely to make these mistakes, grammatical mistakes, and therefore we say the news are not true. But you know this is a singular word. Therefore, we have to use only a singular verb after that. And here you pay attention. The news is not. That's that. And you go to the next one. Physics are, you know, physics. భౌతిక శాస్త్రము in Telugu. Yes ఉందని చెప్పి భౌతిక శాస్త్రములు అంటున్నావా? No. You don't say that. Mathematics is there. గణిత శాస్త్రములు అంటున్నావా? Politics, రాజకీయము. Of course, in Telugu, Rajakiyamu is there, Rajakiyalu is also there. But in English, only politics, singular word is there. Right. And here, physics are a wrong construction. And you have to say, physics is a difficult subject. Measles have. Measles means it's a kind of disease that you can find among the children. Measles. Okay. And here, measles have. So thinking it is a plural word, we generally make this kind of mistake. Okay. All the wrong sentences are the sentences that we speak, because we are all non-native speakers of English. Okay, measles have is wrong. Okay, measles has, you have to say, broken out in this area. And One more example is given here. Billiards, it's the name of a game. So, but it is ending in yes. Don't think it is a plural word. It's a singular one. And therefore, you have to say billiards is. So, in this way, these are all singular nouns, singular words. Beside them, only a singular verb must be used. That is only the thing you have learnt from this rule 4. Now, you move on to other rules. Rule 5 is there. What is that beautiful rule 5? 1.5. This phrase is there. Okay. This phrase 1.5. So 1.5 is greater than 1. You know very well. 1.5 is greater than 1. That means it is a plural phrase. And as such, it takes a plural noun after it. Okay. Here you pay attention. I have eaten 1.5 apple. After this 1.5, there must be a plural noun. This is the mistake that we make, but actually this 1.5 is a plural word, plural phrase, and therefore you have to use only a plural noun after that. Most of you say, "Nikosam 1.5 hours nunchi wait chestunna." 1.5 hour kaadu, 1.5 hours. That is the mistake generally we make, because we are all non-native speakers of English, and that's why you say, "I have been waiting for you for the last 1.5 hour." For the last 1.5 hour, 1.5 hours. That point you have to catch. So I have eaten 1.5 apples. This is the right one, this is the wrong one. And one more example I'll give you here. I have waited for her for 1.5 hour. So this is very bad. You should not say 1.5 hour, but you have to say I have waited for her for 1.5 hours. So this is the right one, because 1.5 is a plural phrase. It takes only a plural word after it. Please keep this point in your mind. And now let's move on to the next rule. Rule number 6 is there. The space meant for sitting, standing, and sleeping should be referred to by the word room, but not by the word place. Generally, space that is meant for sitting or standing or sleeping. Generally, in the buses and the trains and here and there, we find some space for sitting, space for standing, and space for sleeping. And the space for sitting, standing, and sleeping should be referred to by the word room, but not by the word place. Place ante stalamu. చోటు అంటే కూర్చోవడానికి, నిలబడడానికి ఉన్నటువంటి ఆ చిన్న స్థలమును చోటు అనే మాట తెలుగులో అంటాం, ఇంగ్లీష్లో దాని రూమ్ అంటాం. అండ్ హియర్ యూ పే అటెన్షన్. అండ్ దేర్ వాజ్ నో ప్లేస్ ఇన్ ద కంపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆర్ ఇన్ ద బస్. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ us are in the habit of saying there is no place in the bus, there is no place in the compartment, railway compartment. So we are in the habit of using this word very frequently, but don't use that word because in the bus or in the compartment you only either sit or stand. Okay, or if possible you sleep also. Okay, that place you should refer to by the word room, but not by the word place. There was no room in the compartment or in the bus, so therefore you should make use of this word but not this word. Okay, whenever you mean to say the space meant for sitting, standing, and sleeping. Okay, and now let's move on to other rules. And rule 7 is there. What is this rule 7? Listen to this rule very quickly, please. The compound nouns. Compound nouns means the nouns that are formed with the combination of 2 or 3 words is called what? Compound nouns. Rendu leda antakante ekku maatalato tayaraina maatalni compound nouns antaru. You know that very well. So here brother-in-law is there. In this, how many words are there? Brother-in-law. 3 words are there. So this is called a compound noun, but it is working as a noun, and therefore they are called compound nouns. So brother-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law, passerby. Passerby means traveler, commander-in-chief, major general, stepson, stepmother, etc. So these are all the compound nouns. Okay, the point is clear. And now what is the rule? Can be changed into the plural by the addition of yes. If you want to change these compound nouns into the plural form, what should you do? Don't add yes, the plural of yes, to the not at the end of these words, but only to the main word of them. That's very important. If you want to change them into the plural number, don't add the plural form. What is the plural form? Yes. So don't add yes at the end of these words, but only to the main word of them. This is very important. Okay, here what is the main word in this brother-in-law? Brother is the main word. To make this brother-in-law into plural, what should you do? You have to say brothers-in-law, but don't say brother-in-laws, don't say. But most of you say, my two brother-in-laws are coming from Hyderabad. Brother-in-laws, that's a wrong expression. You have to say, my two brothers-in-law. Similarly, in this word sister, in this word sister, father, in this word passer, in this word commander, in this word general, in this word son, in this word, mother. So these are all the important words. Only to them you have to add the plural form, that is yes, okay, not at the end of the words. Okay, this is very important. And here you pay attention, what are the mistake we make in the everyday life, that thing I am giving you here. What is that? I have four brother-in-laws. This is the mistake we make. But what to do then after learning this rule? What should you do now? You have to say, I have four brothers-in-law. You take one more example. The three majors general agree to the proposal. So what is the important word or main word of this major general? Means general is the main word, not major. And therefore, you have to add yes here, but not here. Unnecessarily it is used here. Okay, three majors general. No, you have to say yes, three major generals. This is there. Agree to the proposal. And now let's move on to other rules. Rule 8 is there. What is that rule 8? Cousin brother, cousin sister are wrong expressions. We should say only cousin. This rule you know very well. Okay. This is our bad English and this is our good English. Okay. And here Mohan is my cousin brother. Most of you are in the habit of saying this. It is quite natural for all of us because we are the non-native speakers of this English language, and that's why we are likely to say this one. What is that? Mohan is my cousin brother. What should you say then? Mohan is my cousin. This is my example boy. This is my example girl. Sheila is my cousin sister. Okay, and Sheila is my cousin, right? And it is there. Now you move on to the next rule. Rule 9 is that the pronoun one is always followed by one's, but not by his or her. So don't use his or her in the sentence which begins with one. Okay, you have to use only once. Okay, here you pay attention. One should respect his teachers. Okay, so the sentence is beginning with one. One means in Telugu okadu. ఒకడు, వాట్ ఇస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్? ఒకడు అతని యొక్క టీచర్స్ ను గౌరవించాలి అంటే నేను వేరేటువంటి టీచర్లను గౌరవించాలని దీని అర్థం అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి దిస్ ఇస్ దేర్ ఫర్ రాంగ్. సో వాట్ షుడ్ యు సే దెన్? యూ హ్యావ్ టు సే వన్ షుడ్ రెస్పెక్ట్ వన్స్ టీచర్స్. అంటే అప్పుడు అర్థం ఏమొస్తుంది? ఒకడు తన యొక్క టీచర్స్ ను, అది కరెక్ట్. ఒకడు అతని యొక్క టీచర్స్ కాదు, ఒకడు తన యొక్క టీచర్స్ ను గౌరవించవాలి. Right, and therefore after this one we must use only once, not his or her, right? And one should love his country. Another example is also given here. We should not say one should love his country. We should say one should love one's own country, right? And you go to the next rule, rule number 10. The adjectives junior, senior, superior, inferior are followed by to but not by than. These are the Latin adjectives. They are taken into English. In the Latin language, they had the comparative force. They were the comparative adjectives. But when they are taken into English language, they have lost their comparative force and comparative power, and therefore they are used just like ordinary words. And therefore they take only to after them, but not than. Most of us think that they are all comparative adjectives because all the comparative adjectives end in r sound. Larger, taller, stronger, cleverer, junior, senior, superior, inferior. So that is why what happens now, they mistake them for comparative adjectives and they try to use only than. But it is not so. Therefore, you have to use only to. He is junior to me. This is what we have to say. And now you go to the next example. The Titan watch is superior than the Timex watch. Superior than is there, wrong. And here we have to say the Titan watch is superior to. This is very important from your examination point of view. Several times it is being given in the examination, and therefore have a very good attention towards this. Okay. And now let's move on to other rules. Rule 11 is there. What is the rule 11? So the pronouns either of, neither of, each of, every one of, one of, etc. are singular. They are all singular pronouns. and as such they are always followed by a singular verb. Please keep all of them in your mind. Okay, either, okay, either of, okay, neither of, okay, neither of, right, each of, okay, one of, okay. After then you have to use singular helping verb. Generally what the people do, they think they are all plural ones, and therefore they keep on using the plural helping verb after them. That is the mistake we generally make. And here you pay attention, each of the boys, okay, there are many boys, no doubt about that, but you are taking only one out of them. That's why each of the boys, ఆ అబ్బాయిలను ప్రతి ఒక్కడు. And therefore according to this you have to use the helping verb, but not according to this. And but most of the people know, most of the students think that this is only the real subject, and they try to use the helping verb only according to this, not according to this. But in the sentences beginning with either of, neither of, each of, everyone of, one of, in all these sentences, the helping verb must be always singular. Okay, so here what should you do then? Each of the boys is, okay. And the next neither of them. So neither always refers to two persons or two things or two terms. So there are two persons here. So neither means ఇద్దరిలో ఏ ఒక్కడు కూడాను. This is taking only one out of two here. So that means, again it is taking only one, and therefore according to this you have to use the singular helping verb. But here it is plural helping verb given. Okay, and here you pay attention, neither of them was. Therefore, I have given you a blind rule that beside all these expressions you must use only a singular helping verb. That's all. And next, one of the doors. How many doors are there? Many doors are there. But what are you doing? You are taking only one. So one means you have to use only the singular helping verb. But here or is used wrongly, because the speaker thinks this is the real subject, and therefore he thinks he has used this or. This is the mistake we generally make. We think this is the real subject, and therefore we use or, but in fact this is the real subject. One, there are so many doors, but we are taking only one. Therefore one of the doors is, what should we say then? One of the doors is, right, is broken. This is very, very important from your examination point of view. From now onwards, many important rules are being discussed. Please listen to them very carefully. Okay, and now you move on to the next rule. And rule 12 is there. Rule 12. So, two singular subjects connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor are followed by a singular verb. So those two singular nouns are two singular subjects. So singular subject or another singular subject. When that is the case, when two singular subjects are joined or connected by these conjunctions, then you have to use only a singular verb after it. How? Let us see that. So this is the mistake we generally make, and neither the principal, okay, nor the lecturer were. So neither the principal nor the lecturer. So singular subject, and joined by neither nor. But here plural helping verb is used, but it should be the singular one. And here you have to say neither the principal nor the lecturer was present at the function. Okay, and you go to the next one. Either India or Canada have signed the document. So here either or is there, and but here plural helping verb is used there. You have to say then either India or Canada has signed the document. And you go to the next example. Mohan or Sheila are to be selected. So here Mohan or Sheila. So joined by two singular subjects are joined by are. So, but here plural helping verb is used. So, are to be selected means here you have to say Mohan or Sheila is to be selected. So, that is there. So, in this way, this is a very important rule. Whenever the two singular subjects are joined by or, nor, either or, neither nor, you must use only the singular helping verb after that. Okay, that is very important. Now, you move on to the next rule. 13th rule. When two subjects of different numbers are connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor, the verb must be plural. The plural subject must be placed before the verb. That means one singular subject and one plural subject. Remember, when there are one singular subject, one plural subject, this plural subject should be used only near the verb. That is very important. But in the examination, I have come across certain examples. This plural subject is being given at the beginning, and only the singular subject is being used near the verb. So that's wrong. Okay, the plural subject should always be placed before the verb. That's a rule. It's not my rule, it is the rule. Okay, right. And therefore, here you pay attention. Neither the principal singular subject nor the lecturer's plural subject. Okay, so the plural subject is placed here. Then, according to this, you have to use the helping verb. Okay, but here was is used. Was is singular. But here you have to say neither the principal nor the lecturers were present at the function. You have to use the helping verb according to this, not according to this. This rule says that when two nouns of a different number are joined by or, nor, either or, neither, nor, you have to use only the plural verb, plural helping verb after them, but not the singular one. But in the examination, he will give you the singular helping verb. You have to change it into the plural one. Okay. One more example is given here. Either the leader or his followers has been arrested. Here you see singular subject, plural subject. So when these two things are joined like this, then there should be used only the plural verb. But here has been, singular is used. Therefore it is wrong. And here see either the leader or his followers have been arrested. So that must be your answer. And now you move on to the next rule. Rule 14. What is this rule 14? Two subjects of different persons connected by or, nor, either or, neither, nor, the verb agrees with the one nearest to it. So this is a very important rule. All these are very, very important from your PGT or PGT examination point of view. And therefore, please pay a very good attention to this to these rules. And here, subjects of different persons. That means one singular person, one plural person. Okay. Singular person, plural person. When that is the case, then the verb must be according to the person who is very near to this verb. So according to that only you have to use. Here I'll give you one example. Here you pay attention. Neither you nor he. You second person, he third person. That is the case. Neither you nor he have done. But here he is there. You cannot say have done. What should you say? This verb must be according to this one. He. What does he take? He takes only has after it. And therefore, neither you nor he has done it. Because he is there. He always takes has, not have. And that's why it is there. And you go to the next question. Either you or I. So you are joining the second person and first person. But here or is used there. Okay, plural helping verb is used there. But this should be according to this one. What is this I? I doesn't take this are. It takes only am. And that's why you say either you or I am. So according to this person who is placed very near to this verb. ఈ వెర్బ్ కు దగ్గరగా ఉన్న పర్సన్ బట్టి ఆ వెర్బ్ ఆధారపడి ఉంటుంది. దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, రైట్? అండ్ యు గో టు ద నెక్స్ట్ రూల్, rule 15. A self pronoun should not be used in the place of the subject. So in the place of the subject, you should never use a self pronoun. You know there are many self pronouns are there. From I, myself; we, ourselves; you, yourself; plural, yourselves; from he, himself; she, herself; it, itself; they, themselves. So these are all called self pronouns or compound personal pronouns in the grammatical terminology. Okay, and here they are all self pronouns. They cannot be used at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, like the subject, you should not use them. One example I would like to give you here. Herself is attending the function. Herself is attending. See here, herself, the self pronoun is used in the place of the subject as the subject. Subject laga, subject place lo vaadabadindi. That's a meaningless thing. It's ungrammatical. And therefore, what you have to say is she. You should not say herself, but you should say she. She is attending the function. So this is how this rule goes. And now let's move on to other rules. Rule 16 is there. Words joined to a singular subject by, with, along with, together with, in addition to, as well as. Please keep this rule in your mind. It's a very, very important one. Words joined to a subject by these phrases will take a singular verb after them. And here let us see that Sheila with all her friends So here friends is not the subject, Sheila is the subject. Sheila తన మిత్రులందరితో ఫిలిం సిటీ దగ్గర ఉన్నది అంటావా, ఉన్నారు అంటావా? వాట్ యు సే ఇన్ తెలుగు? తెలుగులో ఎలాగో ఇంగ్లీష్ కూడా అట్లాగే. సో హియర్ షీలా విత్ ఆల్ హర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఆర్ ఎట్ ద ఫిలిం సిటీ. సో దిస్ ఇస్ దేర్ ఫర్ రాంగ్. యూ హ్యావ్ టు, వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సే ఇస్ షీలా విత్ ఆల్ హర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఈజ్ ఎట్ ద ఫిలిం సిటీ. ఓకే. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్, ద క్రిమినల్ టుగెదర్ విత్ హిస్ అసోసియేట్స్. That means along with his associates, what happened? Were arrested. Don't say were arrested, because we are talking only about this criminal. This is a singular subject. You are attaching these words to the singular subject. Okay. Therefore, the helping verb must be only singular. So therefore, the criminal together with his associates was arrested. Okay. And now you move on to other rules. Rule 17th is there. If two nouns express one idea, if two nouns, okay, xx and xx, if these two nouns express one single idea, then the verb must be in the singular. How? Let us look at here. Bread and butter. So bread and butter, they are conveying only one single idea, that is food. Bread, food, butter, food. So these two words are conveying only one idea, and therefore they are taken into one singular noun, and therefore you must use only the singular verb after that. Therefore you must take them together into one singular noun, and therefore you must use only a singular verb after that, and therefore you have to say bread and butter is his food. Right. And here slow and steady win the race. Slow and steady, these two things are conveying only one idea. What is that? Slow motion. And therefore they are conveying only one idea. That means singular noun or singular word. Let me say singular word. And therefore after the singular word, what should be there? There must be a singular verb. But here only plural is there. If you add yes to the verb, then that becomes a singular word. This win is a plural verb. Okay. This is the main verb. This is a plural verb, because if you don't add yes or yes to the verb, then that is called a plural verb. If you add yes to that, that becomes a singular one. For any verb, no, if you add yes or yes, that becomes a singular. And here these two things are taken into one single word, and therefore you have to use only singular verb. Okay. What is that? Here you pay attention. Slow and steady wins the race. And here you pay attention. Time and tide, again it is also conveying the same idea. Time doesn't stop for you, and tide also doesn't. Tide means wave. Okay. So it doesn't stop for you, and that's why no, time and tide wait for no man. But here when these two words are conveying single idea, so you have to take it as a single word. After the single word, what must be there? Singular verb must be there. But here a plural verb is used, and that's why you have to say time and tide waits for no man. So in this way, it's a beautiful rule. Please keep this point, give this rule in your mind. And now you move on to other rules. Rule 18. If two singular subjects are preceded by each or every two singular nouns, singular noun. So if two singular nouns are preceded by either each or every, if two singular nouns are preceded by either each or every, then the verb should be in the singular number. How? Here you pay attention. Each hour and each day are very valuable. Don't say are very valuable. Each hour and each day are. You should not say are very valuable. You have to say each hour and each day is very valuable. ప్రతి గడియ, ప్రతి రోజు ఎంతో విలువైనవి కాదు, విలువైనది సింగులర్. సో దేర్ ఫోర్ సింగులర్ నౌన్ కు ముందు ఈచ్ ఎట్లా వచ్చినట్టయితే, ఈచ్ తో వస్తే, దెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ ఓన్లీ ద సింగులర్ హెల్పింగ్ వర్బ్. అండ్ యూ గో టు ద నెక్స్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఎవ్రీ స్టూడెంట్, ఎవ్రీ టీచర్ హ్యావ్ అటెండెడ్ ద మీటింగ్. This is absolutely wrong, and this is what we speak in our everyday life, but actually we have to say like this: every student and every teacher has attended the meeting. So this is that. You go to the next rule. Double comparatives and double superlatives. So yes is dropped here. Double comparatives and double superlatives should be avoided in a given sentence. Okay, there should not be used double comparatives and double superlatives side by side. Okay. That is absolutely ungrammatical. And here you pay attention, double comparatives. Ravi is more cleverer. More is a comparative one. Cleverer is also a comparative one. And therefore, Ravi is more cleverer than Mohan. That's very bad. You should not say that. Ravi is cleverer. So when to rectify that, you drop the first one. That is only the rule. Ravi is cleverer than Mohan, right? You go to the next example. This is the most best book on the subject. See, most is a superlative adjective, best is a superlative adjective. Two superlative adjectives, two comparative adjectives should never be used in a given sentence side by side like this. Then you have to drop the first one in order to set right that. So here you pay attention. This is the best book on the subject. Now you move on to the next rule. Rule 20 is there. What is this rule 20? The comparison between two terms cannot be expressed in the superlative degree. So when there is a comparison between two persons or two things or two terms, whatever it is, two terms, that should not be expressed in the superlative degree. రెంటి మధ్య జరిగే కంపారిజన్ సూపర్లేటివ్ డిగ్రీలో చెప్పకూడదు. దట్ ఈస్ దేర్, దట్స్ ఆల్. అండ్ హియర్ యు పే అటెన్షన్, సచ్ కంపారిజన్స్ ఆర్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్డ్ ఓన్లీ ఇన్ ద కంపారిటివ్ డిగ్రీ. సో comparison between two terms, terms means maybe persons, maybe places, maybe animals, whatever it may be. Two terms means anything two. Okay, and such comparisons are expressed in the comparative degree only. And here this is the best of the two watches. So how many watches are there? Two watches are there. Out of these two watches, you are comparing these two watches. This is Titan watch, this is Timex watch, take for granted. So out of these two watches, this is the best, you cannot say. When you are comparing one with the other, only two things are there. Then what should you say? You say this is the better of the two. ఈ రెంటిలో ఇది మంచిది అని చెప్పాలంటే యూ షుడ్ నాట్ సే దిస్ ద బెస్ట్ అన్నది. రెంటిని పోల్చేటప్పుడు సూపర్లేటివ్ డిగ్రీ వాడొద్దు. దట్స్ ఆల్. Only you have to use the comparative adjective. And therefore, the best should not be used here. This is what we speak in our everyday life. And here we have to speak like this. This is the better of the two watches. And next, Mohan is the cleverest of the two brothers. There are two brothers. Mohan is cleverer of the two brothers. So in this way, whenever you compare two persons or two things or two animals, anything two, you should express that in the comparative sentence, but not in the superlative degree sentence, right? Now, let's move on to the next rule. Rule 21. What is the rule 21? These should be used before the names of, okay. Please, it's a long rule and all of you know pretty well about the use of the, and just I read the things and just to give the examples and go on, okay. And here you pay attention, before the names of rivers, okay, seas, oceans, groups of islands, mountain ranges, okay, religious books, superlatives, ordinals. Ordinal means first, second, third, fourth, fifth, such are called ordinals. And historical events, okay, the Quit India movement, okay, the Industrial Revolution. So these are all the historical events. And the newspapers, okay, the Hindu, the Indian Express and all that, the musical instrument, piano, sitara and all that, plural names of countries prefixed by United or Republic, the Republic of Congo, the Republic of China, and United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, all these are there. Plural names of countries, they are there, okay. And things which are only once of their kind. Once of their kind means, you know very well, the sun is only one of its kind. There are no two suns. Moon is also only one to us. Of course, other planets may have many more moons, but to our Earth there is only one moon. We can see only one moon. So that's why moon, the sky, I can say east, west, north. So the things which are only once of their kind. World is there, only one is there. Universe, only one. So before the names of things which are only once of their kind, canals, okay, and channels, you know very well, the English channel. So before all of them, you have to use the definite article. If you don't use the before them, that is a grammatical mistake. Therefore, this is a big rule. Okay, under this I'm going to give you many examples. Just I quickly read for you people. Okay, and here you pay attention. Ganga is a holy river. Ganga is a river. Before the names of rivers, what should you do? You must use the definite article. So you have to say the Ganga is a holy river. Similarly, they crossed Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal is what? Name of a sea. And you should not simply say Bay of Bengal, but you have to say they crossed the Bay of Bengal. It is like that. So two slides of examples I have given for your understanding sake. Please just keep on reading the examples for you, and quickly I will finish them off. Okay. The Pacific is the deepest ocean, name of the ocean, and therefore you have to say the Pacific. And next, the criminal was sent to Andamans, group of islands, name of group of islands, and that's why you have to use the definite article before that. The criminal was sent to the Andamans. Okay, and next, Alps, it is a mountain range. Before that, you have to use the definite article. Alps separate France and Italy, and you have to say therefore the Alps separate France and Italy. And next, she reads Mahabharata every day, so it's a religious book. And before all the names of religious books and before all the names of popular books, you have to use the definite article. So here before this you have to use the definite article, and she reads the Mahabharata. And next, Mohan is a cleverest. Before the superlative degree adjectives you have to use the definite article, and not a. Okay, please keep this point in your mind. And you have to say the Mohan is the cleverest boy in the class. And next, first and second, so these are the ordinals, you know very well. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, last, these are all ordinals. Before these ordinals you must use the definite article. You should not simply say first and second, you have to say the first and the second lessons are very important. Now you move on to other examples. Quit India movement is a historical event. It's a historical event. Before that, you have to use the definite article. Here you pay attention, the Quit India movement. And then comes Hindu is a popular newspaper. Before all the names of newspapers, you must use the definite article. And therefore, you have to use the Hindu is a popular newspaper. And next, she plays violin very beautifully. It's a musical instrument. Before the names of musical instruments, you have to use the definite article. And here, she plays the violin very beautifully. And my uncle lives in United Kingdom. So any name of the country is beginning with the United. Okay, you have to use the definite article. And here, this country is beginning with the word, United, and that's why you have to use the definite article. My uncle lives in the United Kingdom. And then comes what? Sun rises in the east. It's one of its kind. So before them you have to use the definite article. The sun rises in the east. And you go to the next one. We can see the stars in the sky. In sky you should not say, you have to say, because sky is only one of its kind, and we can see the stars in the sky. And therefore in this way, before all these things, we have to use the definite article. Please keep this rule in your mind. And in the examination he won't give you the definite article before them like this. You have to find out that part of the sentence to be ungrammatical, okay, grammatically incorrect and all that. Okay, now you move on to other rules. Rule 21. What is this rule 21? No article is used with the names of meals. Before the names of meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Before the names of meals, we should not use any article. Okay, games, cricket, hockey, volleyball, okay, football. Don't use any article before that. Metals, silver, iron, okay, gold, these are all metals. Materials, cotton, sand, okay, clay, okay, and wood, these are all materials out of which things are made. Okay, and languages, Telugu, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, these are all the languages. Diseases, okay, cholera and malaria and AIDS, okay, COVID, these are all the names of diseases. You should not use any article before all of them. Days, okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no, don't use any article before them. Months, January, February, March, April, don't use any article before them. Seasons, summer, winter, don't use any article before them. Single mountains, Everest is a single mountain, Kanchenjunga is a single mountain. Before them you don't use any article. Single islands are there. Elba is a single island. Yes, Java, Sumatra, these are all single islands. Even Sri Lanka is also a single island. Even Australia is also a single island. So before the names of those islands, we should not use any article. So that's called omission of article. And here generally, but we the non-native speakers of English use the definite article before. That is what we do while speaking this language. So that's why here the dinner will be served. Before the names of meals, you should not use any article, but here it is used. Therefore, you have to simply say dinner will be served soon. Right? Quickly, he plays the tennis. Don't say the tennis because names of games. No. Yes, you say he plays tennis every day. Right? And we go to Ooty in the summer. Don't say in the summer. In summer itself is enough. Okay. And next, she speaks the Tamil. Don't say the Tamil. You simply say Tamil. Okay. You move on to other examples. She died of the cancer. Don't use any article before the names of diseases. Cancer is a disease. Don't use any article before that. You should simply say she died of cancer. Okay. And next, the Everest Everest is the name of a single mountain. Before that, we should not use any article. You have to simply say Everest is the highest peak in the world. And next, the Elba. Elba is a single island, name of a single island. No article should be used before that. So Elba is an island. And next, the chain is made of the iron. So iron is a metal. Before that, you should not use any article. And therefore, here the chair is made of iron. With this, this rule will come to an end. And now let's move on to other rules. Rule 22 is there. The nouns school, college, church, prison, hospital, bed, market. So please keep these nouns in your mind. And these nouns are special nouns and they don't take any articles before them. If at all they are visited in their own purpose. For example, the school is there, college is there. What is the purpose of this school and college? Study is the purpose of them. And church, prayer, prison, undergoing punishment, hospital, treatment, and bed, sleeping, market, buying. They have got their own purposes. Whenever you visit them in their own purposes, don't make use of any article before them. And if at all you visit them on some other purpose, then you can use the definite article before them. And here you pay attention. John goes to the church regularly. John is a Christian. Is going to church regularly means that's fine. No, you should not say John goes to the church. You should not say John goes to church regularly. But here John goes to church. Okay, right. This is the correct sentence. This is the wrong one. And here, suppose you have this. Sheila is there. Sheila went to the church to see the Christmas decorations. Why did this John go to church? Only for prayer sake. But why did this Sheila go to church? She went to the church only to see the Christmas decorations. So the purpose of her visiting this church is different from the purpose of this John's visiting this church. Therefore, now she can use. This is right. Similarly, the injured were rushed to the hospital. Injured means wounded. Okay, injured were rushed to the hospital. Where are they taken to? They are taken to the hospital. Then you should not say, because hospital is used in the hospital purpose only, and that's why you should not use any article before that. And here the injured were rushed to hospital. That itself is enough. But if at all you happen to visit that hospital in some other purpose, then you can do like this. Yesterday I went to the general hospital to see my ailing friend. హాస్పిటల్ పోయావు, ట్రీట్మెంట్ కోసం పోయావా? నో, నీ ఫ్రెండ్ని చూస్తుంది పోయినా. ట్రీట్మెంట్ కోసం పోవడం ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఫ్రెండ్ని చూస్తుంది పోవడం ఎలా ఉంటుంది? పర్పస్లో డిఫరెన్స్ లేదా? ఆ ఒరిజినల్ పర్పస్ అయితేనేమో వాడొద్దు, ఇలా డిఫరెంట్ అదర్ దాన్ ద ప్రైమరీ పర్పస్ అయితే వాడొచ్చు. సో దట్ ఈస్ దేర్. యు మూవ్ ఆన్ టు అదర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్. ద క్రిమినల్ వాజ్ సెంట్ టు ద ప్రిజన్. సో what is the place to which this criminal will be sent? The criminal will be sent only to prison. That is his place. But therefore, you should not use this article before that, because you are using prison in the prison purpose only, right? And therefore, the criminal was sent to prison. That itself is okay. But here, some example: the magistrate is visiting this prison not to undergo punishment, but to study its conditions. Prison కి ఎందుకు పోయాడు ఆయన? అక్కడున్న పరిస్థితులను అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తాను పోయాడు. శిక్షను అనుభవించడం పోవడం లేదు. శిక్షను అనుభవించడం పోవడం ఎట్లా ఉంది, అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి పరిస్థితులు చూడడానికి పోవడం ఎలా ఉంది? తేడా లేదా ఈ రెండింటి మధ్య? అలా అదే ఉద్దేశంలో పోతే వద్దు, వేరే ఉద్దేశంలో అయితే ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ దేర్, రైట్? యు గో టు ద లాస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. షీలా ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు ద కాలేజ్. షీ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు ద కాలేజ్. షీ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు ద. దిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ నెసెసరీ. Sheila is going to college. Hey, I am going to college. Don't say I am going to the college. Okay. Yes, college. But your father is also going to college. Why is he going to college? Gopal went to the college to pay the fee of his son. To pay the fee of his son. This Gopal is also going to college. Sheila is going to college and Gopal is also going to college. But here the difference is there between these two. Gopal went to the college to pay the fee of his son or daughter, whatever it is. So the purpose of Gopal's visit of this college is different from the purpose of the visit of the Sheila to this college. Okay. So her purpose is different. This is the Gopal's purpose is different. So when you visit all these places in their own purpose, then you should not use any article before them. But whenever you happen to visit these places in some other purpose, then you can use the definite article before them. That is there. Now you move on to other rules. Rule 23rd. The is used as an adverb with comparatives to indicate a proportionate increase or decrease. This is very important. I hope you know this rule very well. So this is this definite article is used with these comparative adjectives only to indicate the proportionate increase or the proportionate decrease. Proportionate 1:1. The proportionate increase or proportionate decrease, okay, or proportionate increase or decrease, whatever it can be. So this the is used in those sentences, then it will be functioning like an adverb. అలాంటి సెంటెన్సెస్ లో అది యాడ్వర్బ్ లాగా పనిచేస్తుంది. సో హియర్ యూ పే అటెన్షన్. ద ఓల్డర్ వి గ్రో, the wiser we become. So in such sentences, in the same sentence, before the first comparative we have to use the, before the second comparative we have to use the definite article. There will be used two comparatives in this variety of sentences. In these varieties of sentences, so two comparative adjectives are used, and before these two comparative adjectives, two definite articles must be used. Then only that sentence is called grammatically correct sentence. So the older we grow, wiser we become. That is wrong. You have to say the older we grow, enta manaku vayasu mallite, the wiser we grow. Ante తెలివిగల వాళ్ళం అవుతాం. ఇగో 50 ఏళ్ళ వయసు పెరిగితే 50 ఏళ్ళ తెలివే వస్తుంది. 20 ఏళ్ళ వయసు పెరిగితే 20 ఏళ్ళ తెలివి, 30 ఏళ్ళ తెలివి వయసు పెరిగితే 30 ఏళ్ళే. దట్ మీన్స్ అగైన్ 1:1. వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ ఆర్ డిక్రీజ్, 1:1. ద ఓల్డర్ వి గ్రో, ఎంత వయసు మళ్ళితే ద వైజర్ వి బికమ్, అంత తెలివి గల వాళ్ళవుతాం, ఎంతో అంత. ఇలాంటి సెంటెన్సెస్ లో హియర్ బిఫోర్ దిస్ కంపారిటివ్ వన్, this definite article is used, and before this comparative one, another definite article. So in this way two definite articles are used in this variety of sentences. So they are really very interesting. And you go to the next example. The less the luggage, more the comfort. This is the RTC slogan. The less is a comparative adjective, more is a comparative adjective, but here only one the is given and here it is not given. So here you see the less the luggage ఎంత తక్కువైతే the more the comfort, సుఖం అంత ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది. అండ్ హియర్ ద లెస్ ద లగేజ్ ఎంత తక్కువ అయితే ద మోర్ ద కంఫర్ట్ అంత ఎక్కువ. ఎంత ఎక్కువ అయితే అంత ఎక్కువ, ఎంత తక్కువ అయితే అంత ఎక్కువ. లగేజ్ ఎంత తక్కువ అయితే సుఖం అంత ఎక్కువ. సో హియర్ strike. And one more example, more they get, the more they want. So here only more is used, but it is not used with the definite article. Therefore this is wrong. So here the more they get, ఎంత ఎక్కువ వాళ్ళు సంపాదిస్తే, the more they want, అంతే ఎక్కువ కావాలనుకుంటున్నారు. 10 లక్షలు సంపాదిస్తే 10 లక్షలు కావాలనుకుంటున్నారు. 20 లక్షలు సంపాదిస్తే 20 లక్షలు. That means again 1:1. ఎంత ఎక్కువ సంపాదిస్తే అంత ఎక్కువ, ఎంతో అంత. సో హియర్ వన్ definite article, here one definite article. And moreover, before the comparative adjectives, these are some variety of sentences ఇవి చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్గా ఉండే సెంటెన్సెస్. ఎంత ఎక్కువ అయితే అంతమే. అంటే మందుపాటు చేసుకుంటున్నాం రా అని మీ దోస్త్ అన్నారు, అరే రమేష్ గారు రానంటున్నారు, రాకపోతే మంచిది, ఎంత తక్కువ మంది వస్తుంట మంచిది. ద లెస్ ద బెటర్. అరే మీటింగ్కి వాళ్ళందరూ వస్తే బాగుంటారు, వాళ్ళు తీసుకురమ్మంటారు, అరే ఎంతమంది ఎక్కువ వస్తే అంత మంచిగా మన మీటింగ్కి. ద మోర్ ద బెటర్, ద మోర్ ద బెటర్, ద లెస్ ద బెటర్. సో ఇలాంటి సెంటెన్సులు చాలా ముద్దుగా ఉంటాయి. Now we go to the last but one rule. Rule 24. A or an should not be used after kind of, sort of, type of. So after this kind of, sort of, type of, we should not use either a or an. Please keep this rule in your mind. And here see, what sort of a man are you? You should not say a man. What sort of man? That itself is enough. What sort of a man are you? Don't say what sort of man are you. ఏ మనిషివయ్యా నువ్వు. వాట్ ఇస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్? వాట్ సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాన్ ఆర్ యూ మీన్స్ ఏ మనిషివి నువ్వయ్యా. ఏ రకమైన మనిషి అంటే అర్థం ఏమిటి? ఏ మనిషివి. వాట్ సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాన్ ఆర్ యూ. వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎ ఫ్లవర్ ఈజ్ ఇట్? డోంట్ యూజ్ ఏ ఫ్లవర్. what kind of flower is it? And here, what type of a mobile is it or was it? What type of mobile is it? That's so. In this way, after kind of, sort of, type of, you should not use a or an. Now you go to the last rule. Rule 25. Good manners require that we should mention the second person first, the third person next, and the first person last in a given sentence. So you know very well, we have three persons in the English language: first person, second person, third person. You know very well. So we have these three persons. So whenever you want to mention these three persons, okay, first person, second person, okay, and third person. So these are the three persons we have. So whenever you want to mention them, first of all, you have to mention the second person, okay, then the third person, and then last you have to mention about yourself. This is good manners. And here order: second person, third person, first person, okay. And here you pay attention: I, he, and you are selected for seminar. So what should be the first one? You must be the first one, okay. Then third person is the he, and okay, I. This must be the order. But he says, I, he, you, and you. This is really very bad, okay, right. And now you say that, you, he, and I. Second person, third person, first person, right. And similarly, I and you are good friends. Don't say I and you. You have to say, first of all, you and I. ఇంటికి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళకి మొదట టీ ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు నీ కప్పు నువ్వు తీసుకొని తర్వాత కప్పు వాళ్ళకి ఇస్తావా, లేకుంటే వాళ్ళకి ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత లాస్ట్ నువ్వు తీసుకుంటావా? ఇట్స్ గుడ్ మేనర్స్. లాస్ట్ కు తీసుకోవడమే గుడ్ మేనర్స్. సో హియర్ యూ మెన్షన్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ లాస్ట్. దట్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. యూ మెన్షన్ ద సెకండ్ పర్సన్ ఫస్ట్, దెన్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ next, okay. You and I are good friends, and I and he are classmates. And here see, he and I are classmates. Last example here is she and you are neighbors, okay. And you and she are neighbors. So in this way, these three persons are mentioned in this order: first, second person, then third person, and lastly you have to mention the first person. So this is the good manners, okay. And with this most important grammar rules video will come to an end. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hello dear TGT and PGT candidates, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have still any more problems in understanding any of the things that I have dealt with in this video, please mention it in the comment section. I will be explaining that again for you, okay. And with the second part of this video, I shall be back to you. Until then, bye, see you all of you.